Afternoon, the fact that James Stewart was absent from yesterday's qualifier. A lot of rumors and speculation are taking place as to what was going on. Is he burnt out from racing? Well, that's not the case at all. In fact, I ended up catching up with him earlier this afternoon, and I asked him where he was yesterday. He said, to be honest, I had to take a day off and spend it with my dad, spend Father's Day with him, because it's something he hasn't been able to do in quite some time. And this race is dedicated to his dad. Happy Father's Day.
This race is dedicated to all the dads out there. Happy Father's Day to each and every one of you. Let's take a look at the point standings right now. Carmichael over Stewart by 16. Of course, Ricky says he's not in this for the championship. So when he stops and goes full-time four-wheel racing in late models, James Stewart could likely take over that points lead. But until then, we're enjoying great battles with him at this time. Let's go down to the starting line, and Ricky Carmichael is down there. There he is with his number 4 on the helmet. Had some problem with his goggles in the first moto. You can be sure that he'll do everything he can to make certain that does not happen again.
Oh, and you know that Carmichael was really disappointed that he had a problem there, because it looked like that he had the fitness and the speed to challenge James Stewart for the lead there in that first moto, right behind him quite a bit, but going to have to make it up here this second moto if he's going to be able to win his 100th motocross overall.
There's Michael Essie, who was docked a spot from the finish in moto number 1 for cutting the course. Not that difficult to do. You know, there are a number of places where riders are trying pretty creative lines. And we do have an onboard camera here with the number 26 machine. Of course, it gave us some great views from moto 1.
Yeah, that's Michael Byrne here on board with him. You see him lined up quite a ways out from the inside. He's going to have to get a great jump. It was Rockstar Suzuki and move to the left.
Looks at the starting gate, as we all do, waiting for it to drop. Looks like James Stewart and Ricky Carmichael. Hard to say, but boy, it sure looked that way from the overhead shot. It looks like Stewart out in front. Carmichael might be in second position. Yes, there he is. And wow, this is going to be fun again.
And I tell you what, our onboard camera there with Michael Byrne started pretty far out, and he is inside the top 10. A great start for being that far out off the start.
Well, there weren't that many riders in front of him, which is why I was kind of wondering about who just exactly was up there. But it is, once again, James Stewart, who, even though he's in the number 2 spot on the starting gate, has gotten the whole shot twice in a row. Carmichael's going to be forced to play catch-up again. This time, we hope that his goggles stay intact and we are treated to the kind of race we would hope to see in his pursuit of that 100th overall motocross win.
You see Michael Essie on the Red Bull KTM, Davey Millsap's factory Honda right there, just behind Carmichael.
So it is Stewart, Carmichael, Alessi, Millsaps, and Kevin Windham, the top 5 right now. There's Millsaps on the number 118. The 800 KTM is Michael Essie, just topping the hill right there. Ahead of him, it's Carmichael, and then all the way up ahead, it's James Stewart. You know, they did water the course down in a couple of spots, but they're throwing a lot of dust and dirt up on top of that hill.
Actually, right now we have Antonio Baldi, number 965, a rider from Brazil, inside the top 10 right now. Really good motocross rider. Had a fairly good Supercross season, but could not wait for the Motocross Championship to start, and now running inside the top 10 with the best riders in the world.
James Stewart and Ricky Carmichael pulling away from this battle for 3rd spot, led by Alessi with Millsaps and then Windham. So Alessi on a KTM, pair of Hondas chasing him, the youngster Davey Millsaps, and then the veteran Kevin Windham on the 14.
Michael Essie stepping up from the lights class in Supercross this year to ride the Motocross, the 450 machine here in the Outdoor Motocross Championship. A little bit controversial because he's such a little guy. You know, he's not a very big guy. You know, Kevin Windham and some of these guys are you know, weigh quite a bit more than him, but he figured he could use that to his advantage. He's done that here today by getting a 3rd place start here in the second moto, using the horsepower of that 450 to get him out there.
From the Honda Skycam, our battle for the lead, taking a look down on the racetrack as James Stewart and Ricky Carmichael are just that close together. Carmichael, we saw this in Moto number 1, where Carmichael was just stalking Stewart, looking for an opportunity to get by. In the meantime, eating dust, dirt, and rocks coming off the back wheel of that KX Kawasaki.
Well, knowing Ricky Carmichael the way I do, he was really disappointed and really mad after that first moto. So we're seeing the perfect storm here between these two riders battling it out. This is for the overall, and this is for Ricky Carmichael. If he can win this moto, it'll be his 100th overall motocross victory.
Well, the two-moto format favors moto number 2, even though Carmichael was second in the first one. If he beats James this time around, he'll take that overall. The priority is the second moto. Your results from that one will trump those from the first, and they're just this close together. Carmichael trying to make a move, but James Stewart, with the tremendous speed that he possesses and the talent that he uses to get it, is just a difficult man to get around unless he makes an error. Carmichael's going to try everything he has in that deep bag of tricks. You talked about Michael Lessie not being a very big guy. Well, neither is Ricky Carmichael. But Carmichael has developed his body over the years. He's got the strength to wrestle one of these big bikes around, and that's what he's doing. Ricky Carmichael making a run at Stewart right here. And James holds on to lead. So much speed. These two have pulled away from the rest of the field by a fairly significant margin already. Almost 4 seconds back to third place. So the battle royale is up front between the two best riders in the world. Round 4 of the 2007 season. The first 3 wins overall went to Ricky Carmichael, and that tallied up to a total of 99 motocross wins during his career, well over 100 total victories. He has a tremendous record, has rewritten the book, but the one he wants right now, here today, is this 100th motocross win at Budds Creek, a place that means so much to him. He earned his 100th combined at, that is, motocross and supercross. He earned win number 100 career here at Budds Creek in 2004. He has not been beaten here in 7 years. That's what's at stake here today. We have a replay here of a rider not so fortunate.
Okay, this is coming down to the right-hander. Rider gets oh, sorry, right here, that rider. That was really nasty. He came in, just kind of lost the front wheel, and just really jackknifed the bike, and it just ejected him off.
It was Yoshi Takashuda who came off the bike like that. The bike did a complete 360. Yoshitaka Atsuda from Japan, riding a Honda CRF 450. And man, oh man, looked like he was okay. That bike certainly took a complete forward roll. Stewart, Carmichael again up front.
The Moto 2 here at Budds Creek is definitely heating up. Carmichael putting the pressure on James Stewart, trying to achieve that 100th overall win in motocross. Stewart trying to play the spoiler here today. Both riders have been extremely strong all day and focused. And James Stewart has came back with a vengeance here at Budds Creek and showing us that taking that day off yesterday from practice and really being rejuvenated and full of energy here today.
Stewart and Carmichael. Carmichael is going to have to be the patient one. Really, in terms of that 100th win, James Stewart has nothing to lose. I mean, if he just stays out in front, he's going to not only deny Ricky Carmichael that 100th motocross win, but earn his first. Jeff Alessi on the number 801 is the rider down behind the bales there, and we see the 36 of Josh Summey out of North Carolina involved as well. So we'll get back to that bit of action here as we continue to watch the race up front. It's very difficult to take your eyes off this battle for the lead because not only of what's at stake, who's involved. So James Stewart on the number 7 Kawasaki. Ricky Carmichael with the familiar number 4 on his Makita Suzuki. And no one else even in the picture. Mike Alessi back almost 9 seconds behind the leader at this point and losing ground. These guys are the class of the field as they have been for some time.
And if I'm Ricky Carmichael right now, I'm ready to drop the hammer. No more letting James Stewart be comfortable. I'm going to put the pressure on him now as we watch the whole shot replay. Carmichael and our leaders are way up top. The preferred inside line. It's a drag race to the first turn.
It looked like Carmichael had thoughts of trying to cross behind James and take it, but Stewart held a tight line and just rolled away.
James Stewart was definitely there first. Carmichael thought he would maybe capitalize.
Go up front. Carmichael as close as he has been. He's in a rut on the outside. He gets pushed wide and out of bounds right there, but gained no advantage, so he won't be penalized. But it sure cost him a little bit as he got pushed wide in that turn.
Carmichael almost had the move there. He almost had him on the outside, and just at the last second, Stewart was through the bumps, hammered the throttle, just pushed him wide, but they kept that pretty clean there, Brian.
Good, clean racing among two competitors who respect one another and know what's at stake. Now Carmichael's going to have to settle in, try to inch back another tenth or two and get close enough to try again.
And you can only expect that if a rider as legendary as Ricky Carmichael racing James Stewart, if he's going to earn number 100, Stewart's going to make him earn it. It's going to take everything that he has, and he's going to have to lay it all on the table here today in the second moto at Budds Creek.
No gifts. No gifts, I think, would be James Stewart's mantra here today. Don't give Ricky Carmichael anything, make him earn it, as you have said. And for Stewart, he's trying to earn his first overall win of the 2007 motocross season. He is the Supercross champion.
And these guys may be racing wheel to wheel and bumping each other here, but they are doing it very respectful with each other. And so James Stewart's not going to let Ricky Carmichael have anything.
And you know who really wins? The fans gathered around the fences here at Budds Creek Motocross Park, as Ricky Carmichael has now drawn back to the rear wheel of James Stewart. It's worth having another look at the pass that almost happened.
Okay, Stewart comes down the inside here, Carmichael on the outside. They're going to get together right here. You see, at that point, Ricky thought he might have had the pass made. Might be able to slip by on the outside. Took a chance.
Took a chance and didn't make it happen, but he is going to try to find another opportunity to do just now. As this battle for the lead continues to heat up, Ricky Carmichael gets close. James Stewart matches it and pulls away a little bit. Carmichael tries again, and that's where we are right now here at the AMA Toyota Motocross Series at Budds Creek. Round 4 for the 2007 season. And Jeff Emig, this is really, really good. You have the feeling that something big is about to happen, and Ricky Carmichael's going to be the one to make it happen.
Well, a few laps back, Carmichael put in a huge charge, just playing the role of the predator right now on the number 7 of James Stewart. Almost made the pass, couldn't make it stick. Looks like he's taken a couple laps, a little bit of a breather here. Not too much time left in this moto. He's going to have to make this pass happen if it's going to happen at all. But James Stewart is putting on such a great fight this moto. And today, of all days, he's had such an incredible day, keeping Ricky Carmichael at bay.
Better than 20 minutes, probably around 20 minutes of racing remain in this 30 minutes plus 2 laps moto number 2. This is the one that these fans have come here to wait for, to see if Ricky Carmichael can get yet another win here at Budds Creek and make it number 100 along the way, or whether James Stewart is going to win an outdoor national heads up against Ricky Carmichael and get his first overall win of the 2007 season as the reigning Supercross champion. It's really a compelling drama here played out in this beautiful and hilly race course in Maryland. Stewart and Carmichael, as you can see, their battle for the lead has been a seesaw one. Inside, just outside 1 second on one occasion. Otherwise, it's been a half second or so between them for the entire duration of this race so far. James Stewart continue leader. Here's a pass for 5th place. Take a look at this.
You can see right now teammates coming around here, the outside. Andrew Short passing Davey Millsaps. She's using a little extra momentum there. Nice move. Good
battle for those two guys. Here's Jeff Alessi being taken off in the Asterisk medical vehicle. And there's Davey Millsaps going out of the race as well, the number 36 who was involved in that accident with Jeff Alessi. That's Joshua Summey. He is out of it. Let's go to Aaron Bates.
Well, guys, take a look at this right now. Davey Millsaps pulling over midway through the moto. Not exactly sure what the problem is, but I know that the whole mechanics crew have got spare tires out, getting ready to adjust whatever it is that needs to take place. They're still shaking their head, trying to figure it out, trying to get Davey to get back out and going again.
Well, there's a lot of standing there looking at the motorcycle. Nobody's poking a finger at it yet at this point, and maybe Millsaps is just going to go back out. I don't know. Well, that's a mystery.
Yeah, we didn't really get a shot there. We're all looking down at the left peg there, but not really sure what the deal was. But right now, it's irrelevant because this battle that we have between the 7 and the 4 is really heating up.
Here comes Carmichael with a great drive out of that corner. He's pulled right up to the back wheel of Stewart again, and if Stewart was relaxing or if Carmichael was doing the same, well, they have punched their time cards in and gone back to work. The race is on again.
I tell you, both these guys work so hard during the week, year after year, incredibly physically fit, and right now is the point in the day, point in the moto that it all pays off. This is when it counts.
Probably 7 or 8 laps at the most. More of racing yet to go here, so we're still well able to wait and anticipate something that might happen.
Stewart choosing more of an inside line there through the mid part of the turn. He was going way wide earlier. Carmichael was catching up. And remember, we talked about how the riders were complaining about the track being too smooth in practice. Watch when they come down here. Look at those lines. Track is all but it's not smooth at all at this point.
Well, it looks like a construction site gone horribly wrong after these motorcycles have torn up a beautiful track that Jonathan Beasley and his crew put together here. But that's how these tough guys like it. The guys up front really like that tough track because it's what separates them from those who are just ordinary or not in the kind of shape that they are. Looking at a good battle here. Andrew Short, as we go back to the front again, Carmichael's getting close to James Stewart one more time.
See, these guys are not off camera. They've just found a little edge, a little rut has formed. Nobody going wide now. It's all for Stewart. It's all about protecting those inside lines and keeping up his momentum, keeping up the drive, not allowing a door open for Carmichael to go through.
Momentum difficult to maintain in some of these turns where you just about have to come to a complete stop, park it. Here we come up inside. Carmichael's even. They're going down the hill. Stewart's got the inside line. If Carmichael can cross back under him, he might get the spot. But he hops the wheel up in the air and he loses 8 or 10 bike lengths instead. Stewart riding very smooth. Carmichael's got to go where he doesn't really want to in order to make that pass. Great
move by James Stewart. He sensed there. He made a mistake on before the Henry Mountain, lost some momentum. He knew that Carmichael was going to try to go cut back to the inside. Stewart took the furthest inside available rut. Nice move by James Stewart.
How difficult is it as the guy in front to imagine what the guy in the back is going to do? I guess it's the same thing you would if you were there, right?
Well, that's why James Stewart and Ricky Carmichael are the best riders in the world. And Stewart incredibly savvy, has that sixth sense and knows where the other riders are.
Ricky Carmichael draws up close to James Stewart again. We are going to take another commercial break and come right back. And receive free motorcycle racing text alerts. Speed Green Alerts presented by Kawasaki. James Stewart and Ricky Carmichael have not given a beat. They have not rested one beat. One small mistake by either rider anywhere on this racetrack, Jeff Emming, and it's huge.
Well, we got a lapped riders that they're catching right now. There's a couple of guys here. AMA officials will be putting out the blue cross flag, telling these guys to get out of the way. This is where Carmichael has been so fast. He's making huge jumps right here. Pulling up besides James Stewart. Lap after lap at the same spot, but he hasn't found a line where he can make it work exiting the turn.
Until now, he draws up even, but Stewart still holds him off and gets to the left-hander first, and that pretty much negates Carmichael's ability. But he keeps trying on that downhill section leading to the last loop towards the finish line.
And what a chess match these two riders have been playing here. It's just cat and mouse, lap after lap, trying to sense where each other has the fast lines and figuring out a way to block that or improve on. This has been one of the best battles we've ever seen in motocross.
Ricky Carmichael, if he's holding anything in reserve, if he's seen something but hasn't pulled the trigger on it yet, we don't know. It looks as though both of these guys are going flat out, even though their pace is significantly slower than it was in practice. Well, so is the racetrack. Stewart and Carmichael. Look, comes right up behind him a couple of times, but he has to go somewhere he doesn't want to in order to try to make a pass, because James Stewart's lines are nearly perfect around this track.
And watch, they're catching some lap riders right now. This is a triple down, and Carmichael makes the triple. Can he pull up along the outside?
He'll cross back inside with a lap rider in the way. Can't make it happen there. He's right behind James again, though.
And James is such a smart racer. He knows to block those insides. Watch right here. He's going to go to the left, up the lap rider. Keep Carmichael from being able to take advantage of him on the left.
Lap rider's doing a good job of moving over, though, and letting the leaders race.
That was defective Kyle Lewis there. been around a long time.
Stewart on the green number 7. Ricky Carmichael on the Suzuki yellow number 4.
Okay, see, we got a lapped rider on the inside. Carmichael pulls right up on the rear wheel. It's a drag race over the double.
And this is where Carmichael has begun to try to set up James Stewart in previous laps. Right here. Gets up alongside. Together over the jump. Carmichael draws even. Maybe a little bit ahead. Stewart is there, but that right-hander. Now here's where Carmichael's been trying to get it done. He's got a lap rider parked in the way and can't use that wide line. But boy, oh boy, it's getting closer and even more exciting. Here goes Carmichael to the inside. Stewart made a little mistake, didn't block it, and Ricky Carmichael has the lead. Now it's going to be interesting to see, as the cat has become the mouse, whether James Stewart can fight back.
Unbelievable effort by Ricky Carmichael, a 10-time motocross champion, just going inside, outside, really putting out a burst of effort and energy here, trying to achieve his 100th motocross win of his career. Incredible pass on James Stewart.
Now, if Stewart has anything for him, he's going to have to take a moment or two and gather himself. See, now he's in an unfamiliar position. He has not been behind Ricky Carmichael all weekend here, and now it's the first time. Let's take another look at this pass sequence.
And you can see Carmichael just really setting this up. Lap after lap here. He's trying to pull to the left side, but it's not going to work. Stewart slams the door, and he squares him up right here. You can see how wide Stewart has to go. Nice move by Ricky Carmichael.
He had been trying that move in the same spot lap after lap, finding the right way to get around. He had to connect quite a few dots to make that move happen. But now Ricky Carmichael is out in front, and we're going to have to see if the Supercross champion James Stewart can fight back. Meanwhile, Michael Lessie having the best ride of his big bike season. Motorsports, well, Richard Petty the King sits atop with 200. Ricky Carmichael with 147 combined Supercross and Motocross wins. 91 for the great Michael Schumacher, and John Force, a force in drag racing, is with 122. And Jeff, that's an amazing record right there. To be compared with those three guys, the only two-wheeled man in the bunch. Yeah,
it is just an incredible career that Ricky Carmichael has had. And just like the effort that we just seen as he went past James Stewart late here in this second moto, that's why he has been so dominant. Just incredible statistics for Carmichael.
And we could start an argument right now about the physical demands and the relatively short career that motorcycle racers at this level have to get that many wins on two wheels, considering the physical demands that are required of it. Well, you know, you could say that one motocross win is worth 2 car wins.
Well, and the one thing about it is that's 147 wins, okay? We have about 28 races a year. This is Carmichael's 11th year. So his win percentage is probably higher than all of those other motorsports athletes. And he certainly is respected among action sports, motorsports, major league sports, as being one of the greatest athletes of all time.
Of course, he's going to join the four-wheeled ranks here himself. As he retires from motocross competition on two wheels, he's going to go and racing, starting with late model cars, and we assume that his goal, of course, is to get to the Nextel Cup level, where Richard Petty earned his 200 wins. But it is an amazing record, considering that none of those other guys have to race twice in one day either, is it now? And I'm just stirring the pot here a little bit, being a two-wheel guy. Andrew Short has taken over third spot from Michael Lessie. It took him a while to do it, but here's how it happened.
Yeah, he gets up beside Alessi, and Alessi at this point looks like he is out of gas, and I mean out of gas physically, looked over, basically give the position to Andrew Short.
Andrew Short, riding very strongly here, is also working on a fine day in his 2007 season, and he's doing a pretty good job of it, Aaron Bates.
Indeed he is, you guys. Well, I was able to catch up with him earlier this afternoon and find out what's going on with his training program. Come to find out, just 3 weeks ago, his trainer, Michael Johnson, in other words known as MJ, ended up having a pretty serious spill and injured himself pretty bad to the point where he's still in the hospital. But considering his wife, Jackie Short, is also a motocross racer herself, she's stepped up to the plate and is out with Andrew every single day, cycling, riding, doing whatever it takes to fill in while MJ heals up.
Well, that's a great story, and for Andrew Short, 7th, 5th, 4th in the first 3 rounds of the season. Now he's running 3rd. He's making improvements the way you like to.
Yeah, well, Brian, I know you being a cyclist, you can appreciate MJ, this guy is an incredible cyclist. We've all the top guys have been with him, but man, look at the battle heating up here now with Chad Reed and Michael Lessie.
Well, Reed, who finished third in the first moto, is on the wheel of Michael Lessie, who, as you said, looks to be kind of running out of gas a little bit. Maybe his reserves are not that deep, being a small guy, being a newcomer to the big bike. He's in a wrestling match with a herd of alligators out there compared to what he's used to riding in the light class.
Or at least the kangaroo here is catching up to the back of the Australian Chad Reed.
I'll buy that. Well, Lessie about to have a fight with a kangaroo here for the 4th place position, as Chad Reed doing this race, as he has said, in preparation for the upcoming Motocross of Nations, in which he expects to compete as a representative of Team Australia against the defending Team USA, which will host the event here at Budds Creek later in September. We're looking forward to that event, but right now we're looking forward to the end of this one. Tonight on the bike events on Speed, on demand online, and it's all free courtesy of Yamaha. So log on now to speedtv.com, keyword Yamaha, and get up to speed. Well, with Ricky Carmichael having taken that #1 position away from James Stewart here in Moto #2, the stage is set for him to do what he came here to accomplish, but it was by no means a given that he would. Now, eventually, perhaps he would get win number 100 because he has a couple more races on the schedule. But to do it here, as the white flag flies, is quite an accomplishment.
Well, it definitely is, and to put that into perspective, the top of the win list used to be Bob Hanna with 37, okay? James Stewart, so now Hanna sets second. James Stewart, the current second, is 31. Yours truly has 30 wins. I thought I had a bunch. Carmichael has over 3 times that many. So it is just, in any motocross competition, he has just been unbeatable. And, I mean, you just can't say enough about him. And it is an incredible feat.
2 undefeated seasons. It has already been written that he has rewritten the record book in every way, and the title of greatest of all time has all but been bestowed on him. Carmichael with 99 wins in motocross. Look at Scott Parker in his long and illustrious career, amassed 94 wins in flat track. McGrath, of course, the standard by which everyone was judged until recently, with 72. And Rich Oliver in 250 GP road racing with 71 wins. Everybody figured that was a huge number. It's not 100, and that's what Ricky Carmichael's going for today.
You know, and a lot of people ask Ricky why he's retiring. He's relatively young. He's still at the top of his game. The reason is that the amount of dedication that he has to put into this, and how he has his racing program, he just feels that he cannot keep doing this year after year at this pace. And he's not going to disrespect any of his past accomplishments by slowing down a little bit. So he figured that's why he's just going to go out on top here, give it his very best effort, and we all have to be so proud of him. And he is so inspirational for all motorsports and athletes in general.
It may be perhaps the ultimate accomplishment to go out truly on top, as Ricky Carmichael has stated he wants to do. He's signaling to his mechanics and to his supporters, and in fact to everyone in the mechanics area, that he is proud of himself here today, and justifiably so, as he makes the final turn towards the finish line jump. Ricky Carmichael has done it. Win number 100 will go in the books with this wave of a checkered flag. Carmichael has accomplished something no one in the two-wheeled sport has ever done before. 100 wins in the premier class of competition. A great accomplishment that will stand along with all of the others that he has performed, and it's done here today. You were there to watch. And James Stewart, of course, comes over, has to give his props to the man that passed him and pulled away to win. With that, we'll take a short commercial break, and I don't know about you, but I'm very anxious to hear what Ricky Carmichael has to say.